Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian, and I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this awful war with Russia. And in my daily videos I try to update you on the important real-life situations in my country Ukraine, and of course I'm always glad to answer your questions and to clarify some facts from our history, culture, background, or whatever interests you. And today I want to answer questions that I pretty often receive in the comment section after the start of Russian mobilization. How do I feel about Russian men who fled the country? And I think that this is a very vivid illustration that Russian society is not a society but a population, and they are not ready to change anything inside. Well, first of all, many YouTube influencers, vloggers left Russia during this mobilization process, and they escaped to the countries that have visa-free regime, like Georgia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Finland at the beginning. And actually, I feel really sorry for the countries that received so many new Russians, because Russians do not like to assimilate in the countries they enter, and very quickly they start Russifying everything around, interfering into the well-built societies and the systems, and trying to build their own rules. I do support a very old saying that in Rome do as Romans do, and I believe that when you move to a particular country, that country accepts you, you have to respect and follow the rules of the society you are in. Russians do not do that, and very often they behave differently, and let it be. Anyway, there was a tendency to try and describe those people as heroes because they don't want to take part in the war in Ukraine. But it has nothing to do with their civil position. They do not demonstrate that they are against war. They did not go on protests against war. They did not write petitions. They did not, send money to Ukraine. They did not organize any kind of movements inside Russia to stop this war. These people are simply saving their lives, and many of them support war in Ukraine. There are lots of Instagram influencers and other people who say we don't like mobilization, we don't want to be part of that mobilization. But in general, we see it as war in Ukraine as something very positive. Russia is a good state doing right things. And many of those people who fled mobilization, they simply fled mobilization. They do not protest against war in Ukraine. So rule number one, that is very important to remember. These people do not fight against war. These people do not protest against war. These people do not even speak against war. They simply escape the mobilization because they don't want to be poorly equipped soldiers and bodies on the territory of Ukraine. Second, how they react on bad decisions made by their government. If they feel that this mobilization is wrong, the way it is organized is wrong, they don't try to protest. They don't try to influence the process of mobilization, change anything. They simply escape. Escape to other countries. Actually, countries like Georgia, and Georgia had war with Russia. Russians, come on, you fought against Georgia. You did not like its government. You did not like its people. You did not like its idea to join the EU or NATO. You didn't like the democracy that was born there. But now you escaped that. I don't know why so many countries allow that. I understand this does not sound very democratic, but come on, people have to be punished for their actions. So they simply escape from that country, and they don't see any chance to change anything inside that country. And this is really bad, because then I don't see what is the way to change Russian society. How can it be cured? How any normal civil democratic processes can start there? Perhaps only from outside. It will never be born from inside. In Ukraine, we always have this grassroots organization, activists, people, influencers who want the change and then attract foreign support. And there, perhaps it is possible only from outside. I don't see any inside Russia initiatives. And now hundreds of thousands of men escaping the country, not protesting, but escaping is a very symbolic gesture. Also, I know that many countries like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, they suffer from disrespect from Russians, and their citizens, when come to Russia, they suffer a lot. The same can be said about Ukrainians, because Russians are the true Nazis in this discourse, and very often, for example, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, you can come across announcements saying like, I will rent a flat only to Slavic people, and so on. So they developed this Slavic Nazism, Russism, how do you call it? And they will not rent a flat to the representatives of other countries that actually support Vladimir Putin. And now I think it is their turn to start not renting the flats to Russians who fled Russian mobilization. Because once again, in future, they can cause various problems in the societies of countries they have come. Because these are not, don't treat them, I don't know, as oppositioners. These are just people who don't want to fight on the war they consider normal. They considered normal wars in your countries, to which they later fled. I'm sure that many Russians still treat Finland as their territory, or Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Georgia, same as Ukraine. And now they escape just to sit for a while, and then if something bad happens in that country, they will escape to another one. So these are very toxic, very dangerous people, and that's how I feel about Russians who flee mobilization. They escape their own country, they are not ready to change anything, they support the war, they simply escape from being soldiers, they don't want to die here because they realize that Ukrainians and their allies are strong, and they can spoil lives in the countries to which they escaped. So that's my vision, and I'm subjective because that's a vlog. I'm very grateful for those of you who understand it's important to follow the information about Ukraine as this war continues. If you like my videos, like and support the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons. Slava Ukraini!